U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson kicked off 8 days of extensive travel. Tillerson will be visiting Riyadh, Doha, Islamabad, New Delhi and Geneva. His first stop will be in Saudi Arabia, where he will take part in the inaugural Coordination Council meeting with Iraqi and Saudi officials. He will then travel to Doha to meet with Qatari leaders, followed by Islamabad, New Delhi and then Geneva. In Geneva, he will reportedly hold closed-door meetings with UN officials and the International Organization for Migration. At least one person was killed and another missing after an oil barge being pulled by a tugboat caught fire and exploded in the Gulf of Mexico off Texas. The barge was carrying some 133,000 barrels of crude oil to a refinery in Corpus Christi when the explosion occurred. 8 of the crew members were rescued and did not suffer any injuries. A Turkish teacher who has been on hunger strike for months has been released from jail pending his trial on terrorism-related charges. Semi Ozaka said that his protest aimed to highlight the plight of some 150,000 state employees, including academics, civil servants, judges and soldiers, suspended or sacked since the abortive coup in July 2016. He also said that his resistance will continue. The Ankara court released Ozaka on the condition of his wearing an ankle monitor. Marathon coalition talks have begun in Germany, hoping to bring 3 opposing political camps into a stable government. German Chancellor Angela Merkel expressed optimism as she entered talks between her conservative bloc, the pro-business Free Democrats and the Greens. The 3-way combination, dubbed a Jamaica coalition because 3 parties' colors, black, yellow and green, match those of the Jamaican flag. Spanish celebrity chef Jose Andre and his charity World Central Kitchen hit a milestone on delivering 1 million meals to the people of Puerto Rico after hurricanes devastated the U.S. island territory. To reach this milestone, Jose and his organization set up 15 kitchens with the help of 500 volunteers. He also partnered with 10 food trucks to deploy more than 120,000 meals to people in need on a daily basis. Spain's King Philip VI has said that Catalonia is and will remain an essential part of the country. He also added that the Catalan government was causing a rift and Spain would solve the problem through democratic institution. The king's comments came as the Spanish government has secured opposition support for dissolving Catalonia's parliament and is holding new elections there in January in its bid to check the regional government's push for independence. The Spanish Prime Minister will today hold a special cabinet meeting to announce measures for imposing direct rule over Catalonia. This will be the first time in Spain's history that Madrid will invoke the constitution to effectively sack a regional government and call new elections. Meanwhile, Catalan leader Carles Puigdemont has refused to renounce independence, citing an overwhelming 90% vote in favor of breaking away in the referendum held earlier this month. British leader and Brexit minister David Davis has said that the government is prepared for a no-deal scenario. Davis, though, also added that the British government will push harder to reach over the terms of its departure from the European Union. British Prime Minister Theresa May won a modest reprieve in stalled Brexit talks on Friday, with European Union leaders signaling their readiness to move the negotiations forward in the coming months. Just 5 days before the Kenyan presidential polls, a top election officer has gone on leave for 3 weeks. Ezra Chiloba, Chief Executive Officer of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries, has been allegedly under immense pressure from the oppositions, which had demanded his resignation. Kenya is going to vote for the second time in the last 2 months. Meanwhile, Kenyan President Kenyatta has vowed to beef up security across the country to ensure that next week's presidential election goes by peacefully. Kenya has been on the edge for the last 2 months amid political uncertainty, and many opposition supporters have also clashed with the police. Students at an Oxford University college where Myanmar's de facto leader Aung San Suu Kyi studied have voted to remove her name from its common room. Students at St. Hugh's College said that Suu Kyi's response to the ongoing Rohingya crisis is inexcusable and unacceptable. The college had earlier removed her portrait as well. Councils in Oxford and London are also seeking to strip Suu Kyi of the honorary freedoms in both the cities. U.S. President Donald Trump has been accused of twisting facts once again, and this time he has wrongly linked rise in UK's crime rate to radical Islamic terror. Trump's latest tweet has angered a lot of people, and he's now being accused of fueling hate crime. British parliamentarians have lashed out at President Trump for his comments, calling them ignorant and inflammatory in nature, and some even asking Prime Minister Theresa May to condemn Trump. 2 terrorist attacks in Afghanistan have claimed 27 lives. The first attack took place inside the Imam Zaman Mosque in the city, and the attacker reportedly opened fire inside the mosque before detonating a bomb. A separate attack was reported on a mosque in the province of Ghor. Reports say the attack was allegedly planned to target a local political leader. A 14-year-old school student opened fire inside a classroom in Brazil, killing 2 fellow students and injuring 4 others. The shooting took place at a private school in central city of Goiânia. According to reports, the accused has been taken into custody. And now on to India. The family of the domestic help of Talwar's, Hemraj Banjade, is likely to file an appeal in the Supreme Court against the Allahabad High Court order that acquitted the Indian dentist couple last week. The family is waiting for the CBI to file an appeal, failing which they will approach the Supreme Court. While the CBI has 90 days to file an appeal against the High Court acquittal, legal experts of the agency are yet to reach a consensus on the same. Hemraj's family has decided to give 2 months to the CBI, after which they will file their appeal in the apex court. Joint Hurriyat leadership has called for strike today against increasing braid chopping incidents across Valley and attempts of abrogating state subject law in Jammu and Kashmir. Hurriyat leaders Said Ali Gilani, Mirwais Umer Farooq and Yasin Malik have urged people to impose civil curfew to express their resentment against the 2 crucial issues that the state faces right now. It has also made an appeal to the people not to trash or punish anybody suspected of being a braid chopper and hand him over to the local masjid committee of the area. With all the major telecom services putting effort in Jammu and Kashmir, the mobile and data services in the state have grown many-fold. Efforts are being made to reach far-reaching areas to bring the facility to people. All mobile companies are trying hard under the guidelines of the Ministry of Telecommunication to install mobile towers in each and every nook and corner of the state. The State Core Committee of the BJP will be meeting in Gandhinagar from today till October 26th over shortlisting candidates for upcoming Gujarat polls. After the 26th, the shortlisted candidates will be sent to 11 Ashoka Road, where the final candidate list will be prepared under chairmanship of Amit Shah. Meanwhile, party already launched party campaign on social media highlighting development work done for farmers in the field of irrigation, infrastructure and social sector. As Rahul Gandhi attacked the BJP on development issues, thrust of the BJP campaign is development and slogan given by Prime Minister Modi in his 16th October rally. The Indian Railways will soon cut short the running time of over 500 long-distance trains by up to 2 hours, a senior railway official has said. The new timings will be updated in the November timetable of the railways, he said, following directions from Railway Minister Piyush Goyal earlier this month. The national carrier incorporated innovative timetabling under which running time of popular trains will reduce by 15 minutes to 2 hours. The new timetable will also provide each railway division 2 to 4 hours for maintenance workers. Home Minister Rajnath Singh will lay the wreath in Police Memorial Ground on the occasion of Police Commemoration Day. He will also attend the annual parade. The Police Commemoration Day is observed on October 21st every year, and the day commemorates the sacrifices of 10 policemen while defending India's borders with China in 1959. Indian police personnel were responsible for manning the 2,500-mile-long border of India with Tibet until the autumn of 1959. Jharkhand's Chief Minister Raghubar Das was spotted riding a scooter without wearing a helmet in Ranchi on Diwali night. The first non-tribal CM of the state was seen riding on a white scooter on the roads of the state capital on Tuesday in a video tweeted by a news agency. Around half a dozen other bikers, almost all without helmets, were accompanying a white kurta pajama clad Das during the ride. Heavy to very heavy rainfall accompanied by strong winds is expected over Kolkata and its adjoining areas over the next 48 hours. A deep depression in the Bay of Bengal has triggered heavy rainfall in Kolkata and various parts of the Gangetic West Bengal since Thursday night. According to the Indian Meteorological Department, the depression was located about 35 kilometers north-northwest of Chandbali on Friday morning. The system is expected to move northeastwards towards the Bengal coast. The Congress in Telangana has invited former cricketer Mohammad Azharuddin to contest the next state assembly elections, which are due in 2019. State Congress President N. Uttam Kumar Reddy said he invited Azharuddin after the former cricketer expressed his readiness to play an active role in Telangana. He said at a public event in Hyderabad that if party works together again, then the Congress government will come together in Telangana. And now for the stories doing rounds in the world of sports. Captain Virat Kohli and Kane Williamson are expected to address the media today ahead of India's ODI series opener against New Zealand on Mumbai on Sunday. The teams begin a 3-match series at the Wankhede Stadium. India needs to win the series 3-0 to reclaim the #1 spot in the ICC ODI rankings. And speaking of the ODI rankings, South Africa's AB de Villiers has climbed back to the #1 spot in the rankings for ODI batsmen following his career best 176 against Bangladesh on Wednesday. The former Proteas skipper, Australia's David Warner and Indian captain Virat Kohli with what was his first international century since January 2016. Meanwhile, Pakistan's Hassan Ali has touched the summit of the ODI bowlers ranking for the first time in his career. The 23-year-old Pacers, for 34 in his team's third ODI against Sri Lanka in Abu Dhabi, saw him jump 5 spots from 6th to 1st in the latest rankings update. Premier League leaders Manchester City will look to extend their 2-point advantage at the top of the standings when they host Burnley at the Etihad Stadium. Pep Guardiola's side are in red-hot form with 7 wins from their 8 games so far and have scored a remarkable 29 goals already. Burnley are 7th on the table and unbeaten on the road this season after the trips to Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool and Everton. City's neighbours Manchester United will attempt to get back to winning ways after a much criticised performance in a goalless draw against Liverpool last weekend. The Red Devils travel to newly promoted Huddersfield Town, who are winless in their last 6 matches and are looking to avoid a 3rd successive defeat. Striker Marcus Rashford has been deemed fit to play after an injury scare midweek in the Champions League. Reigning champions Chelsea have a host of injury concerns ahead of their clash against in-form Watford at Stamford Bridge. Midfielders Timo Bakayoko, N'Golo Kante and Danny Drinkwater are all sidelined as the Blues look to avoid a 3rd straight defeat in the Premier League. Their opponents, Watford, have only been beaten once in 8 matches and are currently 2 points above Chelsea in the standings. The French cosmetics company L'Oreal is all set to launch a startup collaborations program in Paris to add beauty tech like smart hairbrushes with sensory hair bristles that will tell you how to care for your hair. Academy Award-winning American director Quentin Tarantino opens up on the Harvey Weinstein case. The actor felt ashamed that he did not take a stronger stand and said, and I quote here, "I knew enough to do more than I did," unquote.